Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. So, we purchased a CVO Road Glide, new body style, 23/24 for the shop. And I reached out to Tim Nagy, needed him to build some 10-inch rings for it. We spoke a few months ago, and he promised me that I would have the rings in time to finish the bike for a show we have coming up. And of course, Tim never disappoints. So he told me to go ahead and wire the bike, that by the time we were ready for the rings would be here. And the rings just got here. So as usual with all of Tim's products, awesome fit and finish. Everything's dialed in really, really nice. He told me to tell him if it needs some adjustments. I don't see, very little improvement is needed on this. I don't see any flaws, but I'm sure as I get into it, I'll be able to nitpick some stuff. But Tim got it dialed in and knocked it out of the park as usual. Check out the install.
Hopefully with having the chiller, I can bring that down. So
Right.
pass it around.
Some people just don't understand or maybe appreciate the time, money that we spend trying to develop stuff like this. For example, I just bought a brand new bike just for prototype. Tim just invested in all this new machinery, and we're taking a gamble that this is going to work. And if it doesn't, it's a bunch of money invested that we're not going to be able to recoup. And then Tim has done this many, many times. He's got 20, 30, 40, 50 SKUs, and some of them just didn't work out for him. So people ask us all the time, why don't you make this? Why don't you build this? Why don't you make this? They got to realize that sometimes we make the investment and don't recoup our money, and there's only so many times that you could do that without bankrupting yourself. So Tim, I really appreciate you. I understand, and thank you for being a business partner with me. Carlos Ramirez, owner of NVS Audio in Roselle, New Jersey. Tim Nagy's a man of his word. I got the new CVO. He told me to start working on it. He would have me the rings on time to get this bike over to SEMA, and look what arrived this morning. He overnighted it to me. We're gonna hop right on it. Chris already has the bags off and ready to go. So these are his prototype rings. They're gonna go into production really soon. We're testing the fit and finish. Tim always does a great job, so I already know it's gonna be 1,000%. And then we're gonna start working on the toppers with him right away because I want this bike sealed and boarded. So these are the rings. If you follow him on social media, you see the intense amount of work and money it took to get these made. So we're testing fitment for him, and then we're gonna start working on the toppers. So Chris is gonna pop these in, and we're gonna get it going. Thank you, Tim. For you guys building these CVOs, the Harley Davidson Audio powered by Rockford, that is the same exact size and the same adapter that they used in the 2020, 21, 22, 23 when they started using the Harley Audio powered by Rockford. So the adapters that we make for these holes already fit. So that's the ones that we made for the SPL bagger ports. So obviously we're gonna make one without this hole so we can run the wires through. And the way Tim made the ring, it doesn't interfere at all. So the cool part is, for you guys that are doing builds and keeping this in the bag, the ring actually fits around it. Tim did a great job. I don't know how the hell he got it to fit, but he did. So it actually doesn't hit. So this is the same audio plug that they're using on the 22 and the 23. So from factory, it fits right in there. Tim did a great job building the ring. It clears. I don't know how he did it, but he did an amazing job. Look at that. It clears perfectly. On this build, we're not using that because we're going to seal and port the bags. So we're using our adapter plate, and it lines up. Obviously, this hole's not going to be there. We're just going to have a hole for the wire, but use the factory bolt holes, bolts in place, and it also clears Tim's ring. So amazing job. Great job, Tim. All right, me and Chris getting ready to cut into the CVO bags. So obviously we have them protected with the JK paint protection and a little 3M spinner tape on the inside. Chris has them marked up and we're gonna be ready to go. So Chris has them marked off. So this is the section gonna be cut away. This is the section where the ring mounts. So he knows where he can center the screws. He's gonna use a right angle drill. He's gonna make a series of holes under the cut line. That way he can rough cut it easily without fighting with the plastic too much. Then he's gonna pre-drill some holes in the center line here. That way he knows where the ring is gonna get screwed in. Then he's gonna come back and clean these lines up from the outside with the router. All right, so Chris has both bags cut.
You had my entire fingers.
And he kept all his fingers. Nice and smooth, nice finish. So for you guys that are gonna be doing this yourselves, it's gonna get really tricky. Bring that router over here. On this edge, because there's no room for the bearing to ride along the bottom edge. So we actually have a special bit for that, but I'm not sure if you guys have access to it. I got this bit from Brian at Mobile Solutions. So it allows the bearing to run along the edge while it cleans up the line. I bet Kyle didn't know this existed. I got all the tricks, right, Kyle?
Yep.
So if you don't have a bit like this, then if we drew a line on the inside, just cut as close as you can to the line and just sand it down, sand it down, sand it down. But this is the bit that we used to do the bottom part.
On the top of two.
And the very top part here. For the rest of it, you can use the standard because, line it up, Chris, you actually have material for the bearing to ride on. It makes it nice and easy. But there you go. Now we can start working on the port.